in quiet stillness. Along the way, the phone's battery stopped at 97% for no clear reason. It was a tiny fluctuation, never meant to be recorded. Yet this program gathers only those small, meaningless shifts. Meaning optional.
I'm doing a podcast in the morning, and I often forget what I was planning to talk about. Well, I guess that's because that when I do my show, it's really different from normal ones. So when this happened, what do? I just sit here trying to remember it for more than 15 minutes. Yesterday I was actually thinking and trying to remember it. I was talking, I couldn't remember it until the very end. So now I want to talk about today's things with you. First, I was recording a special episode in the middle of the night. I'm the type of person who want to finish the hard and heavy stuff first. So I did that. Good that. I felt a little bit easier relaxed this morning. But what's the time passed when I usually do it, or when I was supposed to do it. I started to feel really sad. I will read another example, but this that I'll talk about next. Let's say there's food you like and food you don't like. I think people always mixed up message that inside them. Who you eat, what you like first, you can feel happy right now. Who you save what you like for later. You can't eat it now, but you feel happy later. But when you finish eating everything, the result is exactly the same no matter which one you choose. But for the person who ate what they like first, there's nothing good left. They just have to eat what they hate, so they only feel bad. Then what about the person who saved what they like when they finish eating everything? It's the same thing after all, because they finished eating the good stuff. So you might think it's best save what you like for a few hours and eat it then. But if you do that, you can't eat anything tasty during this meal right now. When I think like this, I feel like people are just for things that don't make sense. For example, think about how great Disneyland is. I think you get moved the most the first time you go. People who don't know how great it is have that much fun waiting for them. But once you go, you can never get that same feeling of going to Disneyland for the very first time again for the rest of your life. So if I think about what to do, it leads to weird stuff like it's better not to go to Disneyland at all in this life, but that can't be true, right? But when you go, you can't feel the special feeling anymore. And if you don't go, you have that fun waiting for you. And for me, the first time is like the state when you finished eating everything and that food, for example. Even if I think it's as good and that I saved what I liked once I finished eating it, I end up thinking it's the same thing either way. That's why even if I finished the bad thing first. Once the time when I was supposed to do it passed, I think, well, I would finish it anyway. I might feel a little easy now, but it's the same thing in the end. That's why I finished bad thing first. And then I finished another bad thing first again. Now for the next topic, it's about school trips. It was just like I thought, why do so many schools go to Kyoto and Hiroshima? The official reason they say for learning about peace or history. I kinda noticed this before too, but the real reason that hotel or places just can't take hundreds of kids anywhere else, so it's impossible. Other places aren't convenient and uh, it's convenient for the travel companies too. It's always good point for them. Where I really like this kind of things, well, what they say, the outsides are totally different from the real things. There's similar things, rarely, and though this might be a bad example because it's a lot of my own personal feelings. It's about the leader of certain pop groups, the very first leader, the real star, and a great fair, and she was a really attractive character. She felt like a real star, but another girl who was really good at keeping the group together, get a lot of pride from both inside and outside the group. I think this is the strangest thing. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion, but a reader group show business stand out in any way. So they should just put someone who looks really good as a great field there, keeping the group together. Something they can just leave it to all the people who run the business. That's why that first reader, the one who should get the most praise. That's what I think, but people inside probably don't even notice this, and the members don't either. Everyone, this image, what the reader should be like, so it becomes a trend to praise the person who acts like a leader, especially Japanese people. They this thing where with everyone say something's great, they think it's great too. They are just being tricked. It's like a fox the ring tricks everyone's mind. I really think Japanese people are being tricked like that. Well, so that's the same thing as the school trip things I talk about. They don't see the real core things like what radar really means. But there are no people or writers who say these sharp and mean things, right? For example, music is the same good too. For me, the popular music in Japan and something I can't understand it at all. Words like overrated aren't even enough to describe it. It's just a shared fake idea, and it's overrated. People don't really get music, but for some reason, everyone thinks it's amazing. But this Hikaru Utada and Taro Hakase were on an old NHK TV show. I saw the video yesterday. They were cutting it down completely. They said they don't know what's good about Japanese music, but both of them like they do a big question mark in their head. It's the same with a commercial for a southern drink company, who they just put a famous star in it. It says in that's true for any product, especially this drink company. It doesn't taste good at all. But why is it popular? It's because they put a good star in it. Japanese people are silly, so they buy it. At the end of this talk, I wanna say I don't really like words like objective or subjective. The reasons you can't just become objective by trying to be, it's just a nice word people say. In the work group I used to be in, the leader told a member who said they become objective. That word objective is just a trouble word. He said it in a way that totally puts them down, denied who they were. I thought no, this reader really didn't like that member, and it's become a big bad memory that still hurt me. I'll talk about this in the last special episode, but usually when people face the feeling that nothing matters, even deep thinkers don't find a way out, but they make up their own story and they use themselves as a I was trying to avoid doing that as much as possible. But me not doing that kind of things, at the same time thinking that my daily life keeps moving because those steps to live, stay alive are because my daily habit. That's also writing a story, but I know that's a very small, lowest amount of meaning. I need to keep living. So what I've been talking about really, the state where I make friends with a phrase that nothing matters. I can't control it perfectly yet, but it's like a state where I'm making it stay quiet. I'm using it well. I've that, so I'm not always that feeling that nothing matters. I focus on what's right around at me, but when I get too hot, bad things, or feel too much meaning, or get a little too excited, it works as a safety system against that. I think meditation is the same. I think meditation means you must not react to the extra thought in your head. The moment you react to the fact that there's no meaning, you're making it it's a meaning. For example, for your deep thinker, you get shocked or panic because nothing matters, or you feel sad or giving up, or get hope, or use the fact that nothing matters as fuel, or just go crazy. That's all writing a story. What I've been trying to do is make my reaction to the feeling that nothing matters become zero. Today I'm gonna talk about this here, right now. I'm here. The kid next door seemed to go to a really smart school, and when a kid nearby go to a good school, I get jealous. I feel jealous and get annoyed by myself, but I don't like feeling that way. So since there's no school right today, I was thinking maybe they were wearing regular clothes, cause that. I guess I still hate to lose, and that doesn't go away. That's why the next story, the same still when a famous there's a big bad story. I can't help but care about It look up many things. I was looking it up for a long time this morning too, and I regret it. I wonder why it took so much time, and it was probably because I was looking this up, so it took time the morning. I was down about this too. It's almost like a habit I can't stop once I care about it. I look it up, and there's kind of things about stars. Everyone else is making a big notice about it, and I join look it up. Before I used to think I don't care about the messy things. Now, star world at all, but when it feels close, I care. I care. That's not good. And it's not just the things that save you, but those things that make you feel high are no good either. When you feel high, the feeling that nothing matters comes right after. For me, there's a chance I might get swallowed by that feeling that nothing matters. I also felt really bad this morning. I recorded some special episode in the middle of the night, and my English time was a bit short in the morning. While doing that, I couldn't even choose the name of the show. I wonder why it took so much time, and it was because I was spending useless time in the morning, even so I feel really bad about it. Also, I've been too hard on myself lately. In the afternoon, I hit my own head so I wouldn't sleep, and I put power in my whole body muscle so I wouldn't sleep for more than 10 years. In this period, I get used to it even when I make things hard. Since I get used to it, I thought this is no good. Why am I taking it easy really? So I whip myself and make it hard again. That's why I don't know what state I'm in right now. Well, I as a student, I kept making things harder and harder, but I got used to it and made it even harder. And then I got first place in the 1,500 meter run. I was good at long run from the start, but I even passed the fastest guy in the baseball club and came in first by a lot. But after 10 years passed just staying home like this for so long, it's already a really deep and special state. It's hard to describe. I feel like I might be taking it easy myself, but I am broken down. Looking at that result, I think I'm doing okay, and that's the most important part. How to put power and how to let it out is really important. I thought I shouldn't break down. And if I put too much power, I get too excited or it doesn't rest. I get too excited or it doesn't rest, so it's really hard. Also, there are almost no groups or people that I ever fit in. Groups are people. Not really. I can even say these are no other. No matter what group I enter, it doesn't go well. When I was a student, of course I didn't I didn't any. When I thought maybe I could share feelings with those people, I become just a common, ordinary person. Among them, it got boring. So, for example, why it's taking on Germany instead of English, because the things I talk about, maybe the podcast would have been better. Let's say I'm doing that. Who I were. That's kind of good place. I would get bored, or there's no one like me in the world. But if I met people who are even a little bit like me than my own self, there's nothing special about myself, but I would become just a common person in this talk. What I'm saying is no meaning at all, so it's strange. I feel lonely and think people around them get me. But if there are similar people around this time, instead of wanting them to get me, I want to show my own self more. And if we are similar, it becomes boring. It doesn't go well. That happened many times before too. I was thinking about that show name and the show description, like I talked about last time and this time. It seemed like there are people who ran away to a story that saved them, and there are deep thought made by thinkers who stood up against the feeling that nothing matters. I wanna say clearly that I'm not either one of that. But if I say that, it sounds like I'm putting down these great thinkers that can never happen, comparing myself to great people too bold, but I also want to make myself different from them, so it's hard. Other thinkers fight with that feeling that nothing matters at first. They fight with it, and then they find their own meaning of life. But it seems fighting with that feeling is really hard. Many thinkers go in a strange way or break themselves. And a lot of them, a lot of them really hard time when I think about that. I don't know why I could keep going until now. And it's a bit scary. It's really scary to me. Even deep thinkers become like this, so I just have to keep fighting inside this feeling that nothing matters. Who I move even 1 millimeter from here, things will get really bad. Yes, now it's night. There's home nearby with a kid who the problem in their mind that parents are strange. Even when I, as a kid, I thought they were strange. And that rides a motorcycle on days off, but I didn't like how he looked like he was showing off the wife to the neighborhood. I still don't like it. It makes me angry. I made a rule that I must not look when he rides his motorcycle around the house. The family is really creepy. The grandma there made a lot of bad memories that still hurt me. Everyone, that family is really weird, except the mom. Also, everyone in the world or studs, they all say like a fixed rule that they brush their teeth before sleeping, but I don't remember being taught that way at school. I only remember them saying brush your teeth probably in the morning and go to school. So I can't understand why everyone in the world does that all together. Everyone says who you don't brush your teeth and sleep, you get bad teeth, but there's no connection at all. I think there's no proof, and that's true too. But anyway, I don't get why they care so much about just the part. They look like that, but they don't brush their teeth at all in the morning. So that doing things backward. You should brush the most in the morning. And the important thing shouldn't be whether it's morning or night. Everyone brush carelessly. Anyway, but even though they care so much about that, they don't notice health things at all. They drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes normally. Of course, people in the world drink a crazy amount of alcohol. Everyone is really too crazy. There are plenty of people who drink in a way that will make their inside organ, but in a few years, with the amount of sugar, salt, and fat, modern people are completely broken. I don't get at all why they only care about brushing teeth or not. By the way, even with just the amount of food, that's about the food value. But besides that, they drink sweet drinks from some coffee or eat sweet. Now for the next story, the things that I make rules not just for myself, but for my parents too. I make various rules for my parent. For example, don't watch TV, but I can't help it. For example, lately I sent a complaint read against religion. She said no to it, but I can't talk to anyone about this. So I just really I sent a complaint read against religion. They said no to it. She said no to it, but I can't talk to anyone about this. So I just have to put rules on my parent even when she said strange things. Even if I tell him in the end, she break a promise. I just have to cry myself to sleep. It was the same when I said I would go to the hospital and she said no. And the rules keeps growing. I wonder who I am doing it too much. It's hard to tell which side is right, so who I do nothing. I really just have to take the bad result and cry myself to sleep. That's why it's hard to judge. I worry about it. But there's the fact that I just have to stay in this house. It's not like I can talk to anyone. So I'm having a hard time now. For the next talk, I was imagining myself becoming a leader of some group and saying this, not a leader of a school club or company leader, not a leader of this kind of groups, but a person who becomes a leader of group. Now, show business should be a symbol, so instead of keeping the group together, they should be a symbol. This time to put pressure on myself, I sang that here. I was imagining saying something like that now, but dinner, that onion that wasn't growing, it tastes completely like a soup stock, but a good state of the onion was coming out too. Cabbage and pork. Today's taste was like sukiyaki. I think we're not sukiyaki. It's as strong as sukiyaki, but also cooked vegetable, carrot, and it tastes a bit different from before. Lotus root, bamboo shoot, those things, kimchi and chips. I thought they taste so good when you ate them without burning them. Boiled chips, but things that have a good natural taste roots. They taste quickly, but during a meal, I was doing that imagination, like I said. Even during a meal, my taste is weak, so I can't see it well. But before I knew it, I was doing that strange imagination. Next, I'll talk about this before, right? When I try to rewind the video and look, even though I should have been able to see it better than the first time I got used to it, and I was bored. But on the other hand, the feeling is weaker than the first time. And I thought that's strange. I feel something was really wrong where I noticed them was when people look at a video, they aren't looking at the screen itself, but their mind is looking at the fact that their heart moved, and that was what the mind feels moved by. So once you get used to it, even if you can see it better than the first time, you feel like this is kinda boring, and it's like you're misunderstanding. But even if you think it's a misunderstanding, the mind is made that way. Even when listening to music, I thought so. When I listen for many minutes, I get bored of it. I compared to the start, this happened during meals too, especially when eating sweet things. When eating sweets, their first bite is tasty. But right after, you get bored of it quickly even though you are eating the same thing. When I get this to example, it starts to feel like a normal thing, but I don't think it's just a normal. Usually when listening to music, you listen to the sound itself. Of course, after you notice that, you think your feeling moved directly because it's right, but it's different. The mind is looking at whether the feeling moved or not, who they moved. You think I was moved or listening to music. Of course, after you notice that, you think your feelings moved directly because it's right, but it's different. The mind is looking at whether the feeling moved or not, who they moved. You think I was moved or listening to music as fun just now. And if they didn't, you think it was boring. The mind is just looking at the feeling again, more than just listening to music and this, this and that. Now for the next story. Again, my parents is probably touching the cup without washing their hand. I can tell by the sound. I hear the sound walking right way. They're touching things in the kitchen. So I know I told them more than 50 times. But they don't fix it. Also about music, the good things about music, there might be a strong way to say it, but they state from other existing original song, but they make it in a totally different thing, like a new thing. But they make it in a totally different thing, like a new thing. I feel that's a charm also for me. This has been since my student days, but I differently end up ranking things that I would usually think are good. Even now, it's like that. Even music that junior high school or high school girls listen to, I sometimes think it's good. Just now, a person called Honeyworks, I think that this is a anime song. Maybe there were a lot of them. Why does this kind of music happen? It's true that outside it might be for junior high or high school kids or for anime, and it might not fit me. But if the music that person originally did wasn't like that, and they just happen to go that way, or whether it's for anime or not, they just match that well. And that artist might be more making it look like that outside. But if that person's sense much, it doesn't matter what kind of style they're doing. And that's why even if it's for junior high school or high school kid, who I think it's good. Even if the age is different, who I think it's good. And if I think it's old, I can't read the real good part, or rather, I can't think there's really good part from the start. That's why even with idol song, the writer makes it to match the idol. But what's that person wanna do music is coming out? Of course, and that's the part what I find interesting is that so before I got in that idol song too, and that's why people who look down on idol songs just because their idol songs always see the outside part. It's a waste of them. It's a waste because it's good song, but they can't accept it. But I think people are animals that, for example, when you marry someone, you only see the state right from your eyes. When they got and there are suddenly their look and their personality will change. But even if you can notice that other things far away, people definitely forget that the world is always changing. They might think that this state will last forever. For example, when choosing a school, it's the same. They think who they go to the school, things will go well in the future, but that school might be gone in 10 years. And you really don't know what will happen in the world. And this is what I was just thinking about. Toward my father, when I was a student, I didn't mean to do it myself, but I treated him like a stranger. Or it looked like I had no interest at all. And I wonder if it looked that way. I was treated that way at school, but maybe I was taking it that why myself, who I worked to him more than from my side. It's the been good. I said, but I just remember this too. I tried to work up to him many times and failed. There isn't much reaction. What it is, I don't know about this. Also, this is interesting. But people who are really good at dancing. Now I'm thinking either when I say this before, I would have thought they're world level dancers. But even if the level isn't that high, people who clearly have a talent for dance are either super smart or not smart at all. and I feel there's a trend to split into two. Of course, I am taken any numbers, but it's just my feelings. But I've been watching for years and saying this, so I feel I'm not right. It's strange. Wheat were only one side. I could get it, but it's not that it's only one side. But there are many people who are super smart, people who can dance. Body movement seem to people who clearly have a talent for dance are either super smart or not smart at all. And I feel that's a trend to split into two. Of course, I am taking any numbers, but it's just my feelings. But I've been watching for years and saying this, so I feel I'm right. It's strange which were only one side. I could get it, but it's not. That is only one side. But there are many people who are super smart, people who can dance, body movement sense seem to have no connection at all with being smart or not. Sports are totally different when you actually do them, especially soccer and rugby might be so too. I was thinking just now, I went to karaoke with a guy from double. We didn't talk about that. I thought I should talk to him more. But this guy is a bad personality, so I don't want to talk to him much. But maybe I was saying no from my side too. I felt like that way. But as I speak like this, I thought it like the leftovers from when I was doing religion. After all, I'm not getting affected by the things from that time, but there might be a fixed scared thought that I shouldn't get affected. That is differently become a fixed scared thought. At least it's a fixed scared thought. And I think there's feelings that I don't want to get affected, and I'm not get affected, so it's fine. But how can I say it's not that I'm afraid of living by following the things from that time, but the way of thinking is become current with it, and this can't be helped. It's like when you are in the countryside, the local accent doesn't go away either. Just now, Takuya Kimura, I wonder if he's close with his wife or who who here talk with its daughter like this. I was imagining that when I imagine, I always make it really concrete. concrete. I wonder if they talk on the so far like this, or have a kid in a family where they can get a 1 million yen brand back, but parent money goes through step two by that kind of thing. I was thinking that wanna be wrecked by the kid and said, why don't you try buying a brand back? And they go out together now and there with the daughter. So I wonder and that's how it is. And no matter how much rich the house is, what kind of steps are there to get a brand back? I was thinking, I wonder if he was time to think about it, about his song, but he probably thinks in a gaps of time. I don't remember. Also, I was worrying, but study, but because there's a time I worried I could think it was good. It wasn't useless. So I study math with fewer textbook. How it would it who I made a girlfriend in high school and was going out with her went to Tokyo. Who that girlfriend were to stay back a year. Would I say come to Tokyo or let's get married? I feel I would say something like that. I was thinking my house would differently hate it because private university cost money, and I was thinking up to that point. Also, I'm various regret. When I was thinking about to the point also, I've various regret. I should have talked to my uncle more. I could have asked her various questions about myself too. I was thinking more about that next at last. The first, the difference between me and other thinkers who say life with no meaning is that I don't make a story myself. I don't make my own new meaning of life. That's what I thought. But still, I feel meaning in my own way and live and not changing my self life. It's also because I feel meaning. And in that sense, maybe it's not so different I thought. But even if it's not so different, for me, it's not that I have some idea, but it's just a word to keep myself from breaking my daily habit, or also that heat of the belief toward that is different too. It's not that I believe it. When I quit religion, I stopped believing the things, and I don't believe my daily habit. It's a heat of that word believe. You know the difference, and it's not which one is good, but I can't believe. So say it differently. I'm not drawing a story after all. I make a show and treat it, and I keep doing that. But after this hard time passed, I hope this changed in energy to be exact. I just need to notice from the bottom of my heart that worrying about the show descriptions stupid to do ever again, right? For me, who I don't go that far, I can't fight against my feeling. I can give up.